Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Monday evening. This is Miss Margaret coming to you from my home to your home. I hope you all have had a wonderful day. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I decided to come outside and just kind of sit out and enjoy this beautiful weather. With rain, it's been raining. We've had rain, we've had storms, we've had wind, we've had hail, we've had all kind of stuff going on. But today is really beautiful. It is such a beautiful day. And it was hot actually earlier, but now it's cooled off. Earlier I was out doing some errands, and I think my thermostat said 88 degrees. So I stayed in the house most of the day, but it's very comfortable out here right now to me. And so I decided I'd come out. Wanted to just kind of chit chat with you a few minutes. Not going to be on here long at all because I know that people are busy, and I know you got things to do, and I'm not going to be on here long. Said I wasn't going to say nothing, but I said, I want to check in with everybody, see how y'all doing. And I wanted to say and appeal to those of us who are believers. And I say this all the time, mostly in all of my videos, is if it ever was a time to pray, y'all, we need to pray now. I think it is a horrific ordeal going on in LA, California. I had to turn the news off and just put music on because it was just too much. And I hadn't really been even watching the news, and just kind of picked up on some stuff, a little bit yesterday, a little bit today, and then, every time you turn around it's something. I'm like, man, what in the world? But I understand that you had some protesters out protesting the immigration and ISIS, and I get that. I understand that because a lot of people, to what has happened, what I'm understanding, the last thing that I heard, and I thought it was awful, where ISIS had gone in at like a graduation and took people away, and kids were separated from their parents, and it's just horrific to me. I think it's just wrong, without being vetted, without being, you know, due process of law, due process, and all that kind of stuff that supposed to take place. We're living in a time that I've never seen before. Well, I take that back. There's been some. I'm a baby boomer, and I remember the civil rights movement, and I remember Alabama, and I remember the Pettus Bridge, and I remember the um, the bombing at the churches. I remember the civil rights movement, and I remember dogs being sicked on black people and being hosed down and being carried off and being beat uh, with billy clubs. And I remember that, as even though I was a child, I still remember. I remember the 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 things that happened in the civil rights movement, and black people marched and protested, and we had to suffer those things, and many people died and shed their blood for the right to just live, the right to live, and because of evil, and that's the best word I can use, is evil, and people who want to be in power, and people who think they are superior, and people who want to control other people. It's evil. And what we're seeing now, and I said, I've seen that. We've been here before, at least my people have been here before. And now And we've been out there and we've marched and protested and did everything to get rights. And since the people that's in power now in this country, they're rolling back everything that my people shed blood to have marched and protested to get, and they're rolling back on those things and don't want you to have anything. And this current administration has been doing that since January 20th of this year. 50 years of accomplishment is being rolled back. And black people we're tired. And we said we've gone out there many times when we've seen injustices and we've been fighting against injustices and injustices. And at this point, it's like we can't fight anymore. We can, but we're not, because it costs too much. And we paid a big price. We paid a huge price. And yet we've had family members serve this country in the military to protect this country, and yet after you fight and you do everything to protect it, and then you get treated like you ain't nobody, that you don't belong. And this is horrible. It's horrible. And now you have people out there, and now the brown people are protesting, and there are white people who are protesting now, and we are having to, as people of color, to protect ourselves. Not gonna go out there and die, because January 20th, we got a notice that this is what America wanted. And 98% of black women voted for Kamala Harris, and 82% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. And the rest of the majority of other ethnic groups voted for the person that's occupying the White House now and the administration. They voted for it. They outnumbered us. They did it according to what they said. And with this situation with Elon Musk, whatever, he's coming out saying a whole lot of stuff that, you got to say, okay, he really win it? Nevertheless, unlike what they did on January the 6th, nobody's climbing the United States Capitol to protest against it. And we have decided, as black people, we're going to stand down and save our lives and do some self-care. Because when we tried to tell you that this is what was coming down the pipe, because we've seen it before, nobody wanted to listen, because you thought you were getting a better deal, or you thought it wouldn't affect you. And some of those brown people who were out there protesting were ones who voted this person in office. And now you're reaping the consequences of your vote. And if we get out there as black people, they won't be shooting rubber bullets. They'll be shooting real bullets. And because this is what America wanted, they said this is what the majority of America wants. So y'all, those of you who voted for this person to go into office, those of you who said he was the best, rather than having Kamala Harris, you wanted the person that's in office now to be there. So you got to get out there and you got to fight. And it's hard to see. It's hard to watch because you're experiencing what we've been experiencing for years, for decades in this country. Everything that we've ever accomplished, I would, for us to even go and eat in a restaurant, the restaurants we were able to, we had to march. We had to do it. For us to live in certain neighborhoods, we had to get out and march and protest. For us to be able to go into certain schools, we had to march and we had to protest. For us to be able to go and shop in different particular stores and spend money, we had to protest. And a lot of people lost their lives just so we could be equal. And we're still not equal. We're still not. And so on this one, we're setting it out. And it's a shame before God that this president has called for the National Guards and for the Marine Corps to go in to a city and do what they're doing because people are protesting. It's ridiculous. And go against the governor of California. And all we can do is just, we try to tell you. We try to tell you. And so now all we can do, and as people of color, we're sitting back. We know how it feels. We understand. But we're not getting out there putting our lives on the line for y'all to turn around and vote for him and just say, it's okay. Y'all, because see, we got a taste of this back in 2016. Them 4 years we endured. But then he's back, and here we go. And this is where we are. And those of you who voted for him and you approve of what is going on in Washington, D.C. under this administration, if you approve of that, you are not my friend. You are not my friend. I may know you, I may be acquainted with you, but I won't consider you a friend. I think for you to go along with what's going on is an indication of some evilness. And this is evil. Trust me, this is evil. It is evil, what we're seeing happening. And the things that the president has done is evil. We're calling it the way it is. It's evil. And so I'm out here just telling you how I feel, what I think about it. I pray that no one gets hurt real bad. And I think nobody's really been hurt like we had experienced, And I pray that doesn't happen. But one of the things I am glad to see finally, and there was a gentleman on there today speaking out and said that they were quiet. Your silence was screaming back in 2016. Your silence was screaming. And you're looking away because it didn't affect you. But anytime you put up with evil and you tolerate it, it'll come to visit you. It may be at somebody else's back door, in front yard, but honey, it'll end up in your backyard sooner or later. And so I just hate to see that what is happening. And it's in California, but who's to say it can't happen in your state, in this city? Who's to say it? God forbid. And I have been praying for this country and repenting for this country and asking the Lord to have mercy. My sister said, well, if this is God, this is judgment, we can pray all we want to. But I remember when Moses, God relented. He said, okay, because Moses interceded and said, God, come on. You done brought us this far. You don't want your name to go down like that. And God relented, according to the scripture, because God was going to wipe out the children of Israel. And Moses Moses interceded, and God changed his mind. God, at one time, he changed. They said God never changes, no. But in this instance, he had mercy. He changed his mind and said, okay, I ain't going to, just because of you, Moses, I won't do it. And I think that's what happened. And even, was it the city of Nineveh? Uh, God said, the people prayed. And even Jonah, he said, I ain't trying to go over there and preach nothing to them people. Let them die. They deserve to die. But God had mercy on them. When they prayed, he called everybody, the dogs, the cats, birds, everybody went on a fast. And I think this is where we are right now in this country. In the world, but particularly in this country. Because we haven't seen it it's happened to our people. Black people, we've been dealing with this ever since they brought us over here, and so we've seen it, but it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. And so the only thing I can do is ask God for mercy, and that's what I've been praying. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy. Change it. Intervene, God. Change the heart of the person that's in Washington, D.C., or either they got to go. And I'm not for any one of them, anybody in that administration to be a part, because I definitely don't want to see J.D. Vance become the president. I definitely don't want to see Mike Johnson become the president. I don't want to see none of those people except that are corrupt, that are just downright corrupt and power hungry. Have no compassion whatsoever. Got an agenda. They have an agenda, absolutely. 2025, Project 2025 is their agenda, and they've sold out to get it done. But God, and I pray every day, I say, God, you're bigger than the powers that be, and we need you more than we've ever needed you before. Please help us. Please forgive us, Lord. Please intervene, God. Have mercy on us. In the name of Jesus. That's how I'm praying, y'all. I'm praying. No, I will not be going out marching. And black people, stand down. Don't go out there and get yourself killed and they turn around in 2028 and vote him back in. Okay. And come against, because that's what we tried to do. Been saying it and saying it and saying it, saying it, saying it and saying it, and letting you know this could happen, this could happen. So now it's a shame that it's happened, and I'm not glad about it. I'm not glad about it. I'm not glad about it at all. But now here we are. What do we do? I know what some people are not gonna do, and that's get out in them streets. We're not getting out in them streets. I heard a white man say that they're gonna boycott July 4th. I heard a white person say that. Of course, black people have been saying, a lot of black people don't celebrate July 4th anyway, because, that Juneteenth thing, that's when we really supposed to have gotten our freedom, when we found out about it 2 years later. So most black people, well, I ain't gonna say most, depending on what part of the country you're from, just celebrate Juneteenth. We're staying in, we're staying home, we're staying close, we're doing family. We're not getting out in these streets, in some of these public places where they're looking for a reason, to target you, looking for an excuse to, you know, say something happened. And then they said a lot of the protest has been pretty peaceful, but then there's been people that started throwing bombs and burning cars and stuff like that. But what in the movement of the Black Lives Matter movement, they had people planted to go in and do some of that stuff. That was to agitate it. So you had agitators that was paid to go and cause a whole lot of confusion with the Black Lives Matter movement. And so now you got this movement. And I think possibly the same thing is happening because they really want to do martial law. I believe that it's a scheme. I believe it's really a scheme to cause a lot of confusion and to cause a riot. Why in the world do you need 2,000, excuse me, I'm going to turn this music down. Why in the world would you need 2,000 National Guard and, 400 Marines? Is it what they said, 400 Marines on one city? Really? Plus the local law enforcement. And so they're anticipating, because in the government are saying, no, we don't need all that. We have it contained. Let us do what we normally do. That's not your position. And so as a result, he's suing the president. And I understand. Now, if you don't agree with that, you are welcome to block me and get off of my life. And please, you don't have to comment at all. Just go away. Because, it is what it is. So I am praying that God will intervene and that this thing comes to an end. Because I pray, God, that I don't even want nobody in the administration. It's so corrupt. It's completely corrupt. And I'm telling you, 2026, y'all, we got to get out there and we got to vote. We got to vote. That's where our power is, and our voice is being heard. We're going to get out there and we're going to vote. That's how we fight. I'm going to fight on my knees, and I'm going to fight at the poll. That's how I'm fighting. On my knees at the poll and at the poll. And then just staying informed. Stay informed. Stay safe. Stay safe. Don't get out in them streets. Be careful where you are, where you're going. Be watchful. I pray for the Latino community. I really do. But I'm telling you, they're getting a taste of, and I'm not saying that they haven't experienced that, but in this country, but they figured that Trump was, going to do them some good. So the majority of them said, hey, that's who we want. And they fooled around and found out. And that's the clean interpretation of the FAFO. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I pray everybody have a peaceful night. Oh, by the way, one of the things that I did watch this weekend, and that's the movie Straw on Netflix, Tyler Perry Netflix film, Straw, Taraji Henson, Sherry Shepherd, I think her name is Taylor. What's her name? Last name is Taylor. You know the girl that used to do that, what was that movie she came in with Tyler Perry? The girl that had the real irritating voice. Byron. Anyway, Tiana Taylor, I think no, it's not Tiana Taylor. Anyway, her last name is Taylor. and she hosted the Renaissance. What was that? The gala, the gala, Met Gala, that they had a few months ago. Anyway, watch it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but watch it. Get you a box of tissue and watch it. It's a powerful, powerful film, and there's a message in there. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So anyway, I'm gonna get off of here now. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed evening. Pray for America. Pray for the Latino community. Pray for America. Period. All the communities. And black people, stand down. Take care of yourself. Stay off them streets. Be vigilant. Watch where you're going. Be careful of crowds. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Not saying be afraid, but be wise. Okay? And so until then, you all have a wonderful, blessed, powerful, wonderful, blessed evening. Until next time. Bye-bye.